Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nxumalo. I do hope that you join us by clicking that red subscribe button on the bottom. That is if you enjoy the content that we serve in this channel. And also if you like this video or any of my videos, please make sure that you click that like button every time you are watching. The YouTube algorithm will thank you. I'm also going to be appreciative of that. And also thank you to each and everyone that has joined this family, that has chosen to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to each and every one of you. I hope that you stick around. Now on today's video, we're going to be talking about the reason why you've been struggling to manage your finances. So I've done a series in the past talking about how I manage my finances, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the reasons why some of you may be struggling to manage your own finances. And so I'm just going to be touching on those things with the hopes that it does kind of give you that light bulb of things that you need to be considering whenever you are thinking, whenever you want to approach your finances, and things that you need to be wary of. But before we get into those things, I just want to give a word to the sponsor of today's video, which is Franc Group. Franc Group is a savings and investment platform that aims to make it easy for you to invest and save. The reason why I'm talking about Franc today is because they will be running a weekly challenge. So this is how the challenge is going to be working. So basically, this is going to be a weekly challenge where you deposit a minimum of 100 rands per week for the next 4 weeks, and then the winner that will be selected will then stand a chance of doubling their investment and their savings. So let's say, for instance, you've been saving 400 rands, you saved 100 rands, which led to 400 rands for entire month. If you are a winner, you stand a chance of doubling that up to 1,000. So please do make sure that you join the challenge. So it is currently live on the app now. I remember I checked, you are able to go on your app and actually join the challenge. Now, how do you go about joining the challenge for people that may be asking? I'm going to show you guys from my app how you go about joining the challenge, or where you need to click in order for you, where you need to go on the app in order for you to join the challenge. Once you get on your profile, you go to boost. So you see down there is portfolio, boost, learn, messages, and profile. So you go specifically to boost. Under boost, that's where you are going to get all the details regarding the challenge. So the closing time, according to what I'm seeing here, 31st of May is a cut off in terms of you entering the challenge. So the way that you stand a chance to be selected as a winner is for you to deposit 4 times. So you need to make sure that each and every week you are depositing. Once you get on your app and you click boost, all of the details are there, and then what you do is you click enter boost, and then you will be part of the challenge. You just entering the challenge by saying enter boost and not putting in any money does not put your name in the draw. So you need to deposit the money. So that is all when it comes to the savings challenge. I just wanted to make sure that I share that with you. And remember, it is in a period of May, so you want to make sure that you take part of that, because on the 31st of May it is closing. So please make sure that you join. With that being said, let's get into the points of this video. The first thing that I've realized that people struggle with when it comes to managing their finances is not personalizing personal finance. It's called personal finance because it's supposed to be personal to you. It's not something that you can copy and paste directly without making any amendments or any modification to fit your personality and to fit your needs. The challenge that I see with people is they want to know what is the other person doing, and then they want to implement that exactly as it is without considering their circumstances, without considering their lifestyle, without considering your personal needs, basically. So it's very important that whenever you are drawing inspiration, whenever you are learning, whenever you are watching and you are inspired about something, that you make sure that if you are going to take it in and implement it in your life, that it is personal to you. So I always worry when I see people commenting on my videos, and for example, the cash budget. I worry when someone sees my video, and because for them a cash budget is a system that doesn't make sense and it wouldn't work for them, then they project that to me. There's a reason why I implemented that. There's a reason why I also do not come in this platform and tell you, do this, don't do that. You know, I still make sure that in my discussions of whatever that I'm talking about regarding personal finance, that I remind you that you have to do what is best for you. At the end of the day, I can talk all I want. However, at the end of the day, what is important is that necessary for your life? Is that going to be practical for your life? The reason why I'm saying that brings me to the second point. It's because I've seen people wanting to do what everyone else is doing. You will see someone else doing something and then you want to do it. I'll make an example again about cash budgets. When it comes to the cash budget, the reason why I implemented it in my finances, firstly, I was just struggling to monitor my spending. Secondly, I needed to be disciplined when it comes to my spending. I needed to control my spending because when it comes to using a card, I did not have that. And I know myself and I evaluated myself. And I understand that, Jennifer, shame, when it comes to having a card, I find it easy for me to spend. And so I decided that, okay, I saw this system that people had talked about online. And for a long time, I was watching these videos and not thinking that I'll implement this. Until I realized that, you know what, this might be just the answer that I need when it comes to my finances. And so I implemented it. I didn't just see people doing it and say, oh, that looks interesting, let me do that. No, I asked myself, do I need this? If I do this, what answer is it going to solve in my personal finances? And then that's how I approach the situation. And that's why it makes it easy for me to see the difference, because I know what I needed this system to do for me. And I'm saying this because I know that there are a lot of people here that have been interested in the cash budget system and want to implement it in their finances. They feel that it is interesting. Now, what I'm asking you to do is make sure that you are clued up about why you want to implement the system in your finances. Make sure that you know what is going to help you with. And don't just do it just because you see someone else doing it, but do it because you feel like this is something that is going to help you in 1, 2, and 3. Be specific, because if you just take it and apply it, you are going to struggle. The next thing you'll be saying, this thing doesn't work. It doesn't work because it's not meant for you. That's why even on the past videos that I've shared, I've always said that if you are a person that does a lot of online shopping, that be it your groceries, your clothing, like you just prefer online shopping, a cash budget will not work for you. And so if you then see my videos and then you think, the system, let me try it, but you know very well that you like online shopping, you are going to struggle. And then you're going to say, the system doesn't work. It works for people that understand why they need it in their life. Same thing with everything when it comes to our finances. You choose to put your money where you want to put it because you know what you're looking out for. You know why you are putting it there. You know what is the desired outcome. And so what I'm asking you in this point is, don't do something just because you see other people doing it or just because it's a trend. When it comes to personal finances, it needs to be personalized. That is why it is hard for me to come and give personal finance advice. I cannot come here and give you personal finance advice, because when we look at personal finance advice, guys, we are looking at restructuring all of your finances. So in terms of where are you investing? What are your insurances? What do you have as security around your life? All of those things. It goes as far as which assets can you invest in. And that is why I tread very lightly when it comes to those things. And I choose to share my personal journey here of me. It's just taking you through the things that I'm doing to improve my finances. And the reason why I do that is because I'm hoping that it's going to inspire you to be more proactive when it comes to your personal finances. What I've understood about personal finance is I can do one thing and you can do another thing, and we can disagree in terms of why you should be doing that, and you can disagree as to why am I doing that, because that is actually the wrong way of going about it. But if it works for me, then it should be fine. If that works for you, then it should be fine. The last point that I just wanted to touch on when it comes to this is, when it comes to personal finance, the another struggle that I see is that they tend to look outwards for solution instead of looking internally. And when I say internally, I'm not saying within you. That's not where you're going to get your answers. But when I say internally, it's your surroundings, you. You look at your life, and that's where you will find your answers. Not outside, not in our YouTube videos here. Yes, you can draw inspiration here. You can learn something. But in the day, I'm not your answer. That is why I'm not a personal finance advisor. I'm just not your answer, So you need to come back, sit with yourself, evaluate your life, evaluate your finances, evaluate where you are right now, and where do you want to go, and how can you get there? So for example, let's say for instance you've been struggling with your budget, and then you've been watching videos on how to do a budget, what is the best budget and all this stuff, and you have drawn all of this inspiration and information, but it's not going to be worth it if you do not take time to sit and understand your personal finances, understand what is the challenge, why are you struggling with setting a budget and sticking to it. Because at the end of the day, the answer is not out there. I cannot give you an answer as to why you're struggling to stick to your budget, why you're struggling to budget, or why your budget doesn't make sense. I cannot, because I do not understand your personal circumstances. I do not understand your income. I do not understand your lifestyle. I don't understand all of those things. If you're struggling with setting a budget that speaks to you as well as sticking to it, my first thing that I would do is sit down and say, why am I struggling? What is it that I'm doing that I feel like is affecting this whole process for me, or me being able to set a proper budget? You might find that there are certain things that you're doing that prohibit you to be effective when it comes to setting a budget as well as sticking to it. Some of those examples might be that you are not realistic. It might be that you do not understand your income. It might be that you are oblivious to your lifestyle. Like there are people that know that they spend like this when it comes to their lifestyle. Like maybe on the weekends you go out, you party, or you go out, you hang with friends, or you go out and you just, indulge in the things that life gives us. But then you are oblivious to all of that. You think, okay, no, you know what, 1,000 is going to be enough. But you know very well that every time when you go out, you don't spend 1,000, you spend more. So when you do that, what happens is you're going to end up spending money from somewhere where you've allocated it. And then it's going to mess up your whole budget. Another thing that might be the reason, you might find that you are so much in debt that it's hard for you to spread the money around. And so then it calls for you to sit down and say, okay, how many debts do I have? How much do I pay? What is the interest on each and every one of these debts? Do I want to pay off this debt? If I pay off this debt, what is it going to change in my finances? Okay, maybe if I pay off this one, it's going to give me money. Maybe it's going to give me 500 rands back, which I can then channel towards this item within my budget. These are things that you cannot achieve or cannot understand so long as you are looking for solutions outside. So long as you are looking for solutions, go Jennifer. You are not going to get that, because Jennifer is going to keep sharing her own personal finances, and it's going to end up making you sad and angry because you're seeing what Jennifer is busy managing her finances and seems like she's winning, and then you're going to ask yourself, why am I not winning? It's because you are looking at the wrong places. And I'm not saying don't watch my videos. Please watch my videos. Yes, please watch my videos, because I do appreciate that. But what I'm saying is, don't watch my videos with a perspective of Jennifer is going to be the solution to my problems, because I won't be, because I'm not, because even myself, there are things that I struggle with. But whenever I'm struggling with something, I sit down, I take all of the information that I've gathered, and I sit down and say, okay, Jennifer, what can we change? Is there something that we can change about this? If there's something that I can change about it, then I action it, I try it. If I see that it doesn't work, I move on, So it's very important to sit down, understand your finances, understand your lifestyle, understand your income. Don't be oblivious to your life expenses, to your daily expenses. Don't be oblivious to your monthly expenses. You need to be practical, realistic, and sit down and understand that the solutions are not going to come from anyone else but from you. I'll just give you a simple example. When I implemented the weekly allowances, it's not a genius idea that I just came with, and I shared that when I started implementing it, that I learned that from Nicolette Mashile. Now, Nicolette Mashile gave me the theory that, okay, instead of you having an allocation for the entire month of a once-off allocation when you get paid, that this is the money that I'm going to spend on groceries, living expenses, and all the stuff, rather split it in 2 weeks. So that was the theory that she was coming with, that this is what I know to work. What did Jennifer do? She looked at that and said, maybe that is the reason why every time 2 weeks leading up to payday, I am scrambling for cash. I am drowning. I'm stressed. Where am I going to find the money? Let me try and implement this. And then I looked, how can I then implement it? I sat down, I looked at my finances. I looked at how much would I need in a week, because looking at how much do I spend, what are the things do I spend on in a week? And if I'm going to split my groceries, how do I then approach grocery buying? Do I buy bulk, like do I buy bulk beginning of the month and then split for the veggies and fruits, what? Or do I just buy what I need for the week specifically without buying anything in bulk? So I sat down and said, okay, for me, I feel like not buying in bulk would work. Firstly, because I don't have space for it. My house is too small. My kitchen is too small. And secondly, because when I buy in bulk, I end up forgetting what I have. I end up not even being interested to use those things. And also thirdly, I have a small family. And so I decided that I'm going to approach my weekly allowances this way. So another person can look at weekly allowances and say, okay, I like this idea. I feel like it's going to help me. But then I know that I have a big family. And so me buying a 2 kg rice is not going to be sufficient, you know. And so you say, I'm going to buy the basics in bulk. So your maize meal, your rice, your like maybe let's say your potatoes, your onions, your meat, you buy that all in bulk, and then you split the rest of the money into the 3 weeks that will be left. That is another approach that you can go about it. But I feel like when people look at that, when they see my videos, me sharing that, they don't want to personalize it to them. They want to implement it as I'm doing it. Or they look at it and say, that thing can never work for me because I have a big family, because of this and this. It can work for you if you were to sit down and personalize it to you. And make sure that you understand what are the needs of your life and your family. Then how can you take the system and put it in your life, just so that you make sure that at the end of the month you are not scrambling for cash. You also need to be practical that, okay, if beginning of the month I'm going to spend about 4,000 buying all of these things in bulk, that means that basically for the entire month I might need to budget maybe about 7,000 for living expenses. So what you will then say is 4,000 for the beginning of the month, buy everything in bulk, and then the second week following to that, I can allocate 1,000. Third week 1,000, fourth week 1,000, and then you know that in this 1,000, this is money for you to buy things like small things that you need maybe for your recipe in that week, small things that you may need like bread. You know, you may also use this money to buy things there and there that you might need for that week, not thinking how long it's going to last me, but I need it for that week. So that could be your approach to how you do it. But as I'm saying, this is just my suggestion. This is just my thought, because it's not informed by anything. So what you will do is you sit down and you say, okay, how can I implement this in a way that it is practical for me? And then you do that. So that is my encouragement when it comes to this video. If you're struggling with your finances, start personalizing finance so that you can find a practical and realistic way of managing your money in a way that it makes sense to you, in a way that it speaks to your life. That way you will enjoy personal finance. You will enjoy those days where you sit down and make a budget. You will not be scrambling along in the months, because you have created this space for yourself where you fully understand what is going on in your finances. With that being said, I'm going to close off this video because I don't want it to be too long. I'll see you on the next one. Please take care and stay safe.